Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Link.
And I'm Rhett. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we're going to be finding out just how good or bad of a rider we each are.
A rider.
A rider.
You're not talking about a horse rider.
Rider. A passenger.
You're talking about
in an Uber.
An Uber rider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's now a way to find out. Maybe there's always been a way and no one explained it to me.
Okay. All right. And I know that you're also like really big into a new thing that like you're so excited about, you can't stop talking about it.
The funny thing about it is like, it's become so much of a bigger thing because we've almost included it in the past like 3 episodes, and it actually—
Cut for time.
It isn't, yeah, it's the thing that keeps getting cut for time. And now it's kind of built up, and you know what? I'm not gonna disappoint you. I'm not gonna disappoint you.
Oh.
I'm potentially gonna change your life.
Well, I have something to add this week, so you might get it cut for time.
No, I'm going first.
No, you go first, okay.
What?
Well, Link, last episode you asked me to make you a vision board based off of your passions, and I made you a vision board.
Really?
So, yeah, so
Well,
good.
now I feel like I should have ranked my passions.
Yeah, he should have. I would have made you one too.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you go a little rogue? Don't tell me.
You'll have to see.
All right, I'll have to see it. Oh, I got a vision
Where is
board.
it? How big is it?
I have it hidden. It's hidden under my
Must not
desk.
be that big.
Yeah, I have it hidden under my
It's
desk.
little? Is it frameable?
It is.
Anything's frameable.
Speaking of frameable, one of the best Christmas gifts I got, I still have not put up on my wall, and it was framed. Lily surprised me with she emulated like a concert poster, like a venue poster, but it was Lincoln Lily's listening party, spa listening party or something. Hot tub, it's not in front of me, so I can't remember exactly. Hot tub listening party. And it was like it was an event because we would get in the hot tub and listen to music. And like, I would turn her on to some music.
How did she have it made?
She just had a friend who was a graphic designer who like made it. Isn't that sweet?
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's so sweet. And it's so sweet that I
have never done anything that sweet for me.
Haven't put it up.
How big are we talking?
It's like a 11 by 17. It's like a—
Well, that made you feel special.
It made me feel special. And now I got to follow through. I got to put that thing up. I think I'm going to put it in my office in the creative house. It's like I can put anything I want on my walls in my office.
It's a great reason to have a creative house.
I don't have to have like buy-in from,
can't put it in your
the
bedroom.
family or Christy. Christy runs point on like the aesthetic of everything in the house.
Sure.
And this doesn't quite fit, That's why my realm is the garage. But I don't have any art hanging on the wall in the garage. There's no room for that.
Yeah, there's like equipment. And
cabinets and equipment.
Toys.
Yeah. And trash.
That reminds me, something that I talked about with Jesse recently that I failed to talk about on the podcast, and this is something that I built up years ago, and you know about it.
Yeah, that's right. I know what you're talking about.
Because when you talked about something framed in the creative house.
The best gift you've ever gotten.
I built up that Jesse had gotten me the best gift that I've ever gotten, and I recently had a discussion with her and with some friends who were looking at it, and I came to the conclusion that I did want to talk about it, but I do not want to show it. But I want to talk about it.
3 years later. It's 2 years later, really.
Yeah, and I want to make sure.
Right?
I think it's been 3 years. I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm getting.
What are you doing? What are you Googling? Oh.
I'm just making sure that I'm getting his information right. Okay. So what it was Jesse has a friend who used to run or be associated with an art gallery, and there was an artist, this pen and ink artist named Ronnie Ray Mendez, who is just a great like pen and ink, artist, and I don't think he had done this particular thing before, but Jessie was talking to her friend and she was like, Rhett really likes pen and ink, and I've got this idea where I wanna like give a pen and ink artist like information about him and us, as a couple. And like, can I like write like a story about him, like his life, and then have somebody create like a pen and ink drawing that is representative of Rhett. And when I say pen and ink, you know how detailed it is, but when I say pen and ink that's literally like 4 feet by 3 feet, I mean, the thing's this big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's the width of the couch in your office.
I mean, the way she got me with this is she was like, it's gonna be your birthday present. Then it was like, it's gonna be your Christmas present. It kept getting pushed back because it was so detailed. It was so detailed, and I don't know if he had done one this big before. And he's like so talented and so committed to like making it amazing that he just was like, I'm gonna work on this until it's done. And she's like, it's fine.
So it was an autobiographical piece of art.
And I don't want to the reason I don't want to talk about the specific, well, let me tell you the story of how she revealed it to me. She was like, I'm gonna give you this present, but we have to drive to this place in the valley. And like, we kind of drove to like like a weird part of the like western side of the valley.
Okay.
And I was like, what in the hell is this gonna be? And then all of a sudden, like we pull up next to this car and there's a dude in the car.
You were like in a Walmart parking lot or something?
It was like a parking lot in a strip mall.
Oh.
But kind of in a weird strip mall that had weird stores. And we get out and she's like, it's in the back of this guy's SUV. And I'm like, is it a dog? Like, when somebody has got you the best gift they've ever gotten you and they're taking you into a parking lot.
Yeah.
And then you're just opening the back of this guy's car.
It's probably illegal.
And he's an interesting looking guy. I was like, what does this guy have in his truck? And then she opens it up and there's a sheet over something. And then he like takes the sheet off. And like, I had no idea. So all of a sudden I look at this thing and I'm like, holy shit, this is like this amazing drawing.
Yeah.
But then she was like, well, look closely at it. Then I started looking at it. I was like, oh shit, this is custom and this is for me. And then she's like, then he hands me this, or no, I can't remember who had it. This like manila envelope that had the story in it, which is like, this is the information that she gave him to then have him create this artistic representation of my life and like our life together. And so it's so personal that I kind of want it to be something that's just like, you can come into the creative house and see it. You can, if you're my friend, but I don't want to like show it to the internet. But I just felt bad because this guy, Ronnie Ray Mendez worked so hard on it that, I mean, I paid him for it, of course, but like, he's so good at what he does. And this isn't the only thing he does. He does other stuff too, but.
He worked on it for over a year, right?
No, it wasn't a year, but it was months. It's not his full-time job. He has another job. I can't remember what it is, but so this is like a nights and weekends kind of thing. And you can only spend so much time.
It's super
just
cool.
Sitting there and get like, when you look closely, you can stand there. I've had friends stand there for 30 minutes looking at it. And then I'll be like, well, this means this and this means this. And this, I don't even really know. Maybe Jesse knows. Like when I was looking at it with Jesse a couple weeks ago with some friends.
Yeah.
She was pointing out things that I was like, oh, I didn't realize what that was for. She remembers because she gave him all the prompts.
It's kind of like it's a fantastical representation of your life that does require like kind of telling a story in your mind or like making connections between your life and this. It's not, so it's very cool, and like the style is very intricate, but it also kind of shifts. There's like some very photorealistic parts, and then there's like some super fantastical parts, and it kind of all mixes together.
Yeah, it's like a giant landscape kind of.
When we've been brainstorming, like the last time we were brainstorming, we were in your office, and I just found myself kind of staring at it because it can kind of send your mind in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's a nature part, and then there's like a car you used to drive in it.
It wasn't even a car that I drove, it was a car I wanted.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna give any more details away, but it definitely blew me away. That's probably, I mean, that's an heirloom. That's like, that's a hell of a gift.
It is the best gift I've ever gotten.
And of course, I haven't seen the vision board that Jenna made for me.
Right, of course.
But that's not a gift because I commissioned it as you did it in working hours.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you didn't. Okay. All right. I'll take it as a gift.
You might have to take some
I had
time
a lot
off.
to do. I had a lot
time
to
off
do
to
last
offset.
Yeah,
week.
you got a lot to do.
I
So,
had a lot to do.
in other words, I need to love it because it's part of this is a gift.
You don't need to love it.
I need to love it. I really.
But you can't tell me that you want me to do something and then me not go and do it,
Yeah,
even
that's
if you're
true.
joking or not.
That's true. I'm excited.
Okay, before we dig into our
Uber
ratings.
So we get to see our Uber ratings. Oh God.
yeah.
Okay.
This is pretty exciting. This is a long time coming in celebration of the 5-year anniversary of the Mythical Society.
Of course, that is our exclusive fan club where you can pay at different levels to receive things that are worth what you're paying for. There's also an initiate level that is stark raving free, and you can just check out everything we have over there. 5 years of accumulated exclusive content growing every week.
We have now gamified the Mythical Society app, right? So there's the app where you can enjoy everything from the society, but now you can play along every day with Good Mythical Morning, even as an initiate. You can have the free initiate level.
Now, what does that mean to play along? Sometimes we play games and you can't play along because you get a different experience comedically by knowing the answers. So we're not talking about that as much as there's some ways that like our competition can relate to your competition, but then there's this other forms of knowledge. You'll have to play it to see.
It's like it's trivia based.
It's trivia based.
Called Think It and Sink It. Get it?
And you can accumulate a score.
We almost called it Think Make Me Horny, but
yeah, we didn't call it that.
It was a close second.
So you want to play over the course of the season, and then we're going to be recognizing. There'll be special prizes at the end of this next season of Good Mythical Morning for those who've accumulated right answers. So that's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. We give out exclusive quarterly collectible items, like physical collectible items every quarter over the past 5 years, and they're only available to third degree members who are members at the time, with some stipulations. Always valuable, super collectible, and then they're gone. But if there's some that in the past you wish you could have gotten, now is the time to get those while supplies last. We have like a little additional inventory of some of these things, like whether it's in one of the exclusive albums we released, or the comic book series that we've released 3 editions of that. You know, and if you want to get all those, or if you want like the blanket or the hoodie blanket thing, like all the super cozy stuff we release exclusively, like any new purchase, upgrade, renewal, or gift, any way that you can get a third degree annual plan through January 20, I said January, I meant February, through February 29th, if you sign up for any, I'm not doing a good job of saying this.
Well, that's why we wrote it down.
And I should just read it. If you get a third degree annual plan in any form, including a gift card, through February 29th, you will have the choice of any of the past quarterly items we've ever produced while supplies last, first come, first served. So go to mythicalsociety.com for all that stuff.
Ear Biscuits is supported by Chime.
You know, I pretty much put all my purchases on my credit card, you know? I plan to pay it off in full every month, but like, I run it through that to build my credit, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. You're talking about building credit, Link.
I'm talking about building credit, right?
No matter how you're starting off the year, when you use the secured Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card, you can build your credit scores with on-time payments for everyday purchases.
If there were an overachieving credit card that helps you build credit, this would be it. When your credit's good, your future is also good.
There are no annual fees, interest, or credit check to apply, and You can use it everywhere Visa credit cards are accepted.
By the way, you get a checking account too. Just set up a qualifying direct deposit, sign up for Spot Me, and Chime will spot you up to your limit when you make a credit card purchase or cash withdrawal that exceeds your balance.
Plus, you have access to over 60,000 fee-free ATMs easily found on the Chime app. That's more than the top 3 national banks combined.
So start building your credit. Open a Chime checking account with at least a $200 qualifying direct deposit to get started.
Get started at chime.com/ear. That's chime.com/ear.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A., members FDIC. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and over-the-counter advance fees may apply. Call 1-844-244-6363 for details.
Late payment may negatively impact your credit score. Results may vary. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Spot Me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply.
Ear Biscuits is supported by Rosetta Stone.
You know, sometimes you travel to other countries, Link, like you just traveled to New Zealand. And sometimes you need help understanding the people in that country.
Well, a lot of them speak English.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe this doesn't apply as much, but what if their accent is so strong that it sounds like another language?
In comes Rosetta Stone. Not exactly, it's not for accents. I mean, it's for accents within languages. Just let me stick with the copy.
Right.
Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app that truly immerses you in the language you want to learn.
They've used trusted experts for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, some of which include Spanish, French, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, and Arabic. I don't see New Zealandish on there.
No.
But probably because that's English.
Or Maori. Rosetta Stone immerses you in many ways. There are no English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language.
And with their built-in true accent feature that gives you feedback on your pronunciation, you'll be speaking like a pro in no time.
Plus, it's an amazing value. A lifetime membership has all 25 languages for any and all trips or language needs in life. A $399 program, but with our code, you can get it for just $199.
Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, you can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off.
That's 50% off for unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/ear today.
Okay, Link.
It's a lot of fun over there.
So Jamie found this TikTok that was going around, and basically it's this woman who is saying, I don't know if it's always been there or if they just recently
I don't know
made
either.
this available. But I know for the longest time you couldn't see, I thought the impression was you couldn't see your rating. Like you knew your driver's rating, but you didn't know your rating. And I always wondered like.
Because drivers can rate you.
Oh, they do rate you every time.
Oh. And I was kind of thinking, oh, they don't rate me.
So I'm gonna show you how to get to the ratings, and I will show you as you are listening or watching, so you can look at your ratings too if you use Uber. And I'm interested to see, I had some things that I was a little bit worried about.
Yeah, I'm worried about some.
So I'm interested how our ratings compare.
Okay, yeah.
And then why.
Well, you know I just recently went on an Uber against my will.
That's my fault.
Why don't you tell him, Rhett, what you did?
So Link and I typically do not carpool unless we're recording an episode of Car Biscuits for the Mythical Society.
Right.
But we live relatively close to each other and we work very close to each other. So sometimes it does make sense.
Yeah.
You texted me as I was about to leave one morning and you said, hey, can you give me a ride? I was like, sure, bud. I didn't call you bud. I've never called you bud seriously, but you know, something like that.
I'd like for you to do that.
And I picked you up and I brought you in. And of course, the understanding was—
I felt so seen.
The understanding was that I would also take you home. But
yeah, I didn't want to.
I forgot about it.
I didn't feel like
I don't always take you home.
I needed to establish that, but it's like, yeah. I actually said in the text, what are you doing at the end of the day? Can you give me a ride in and bring me back home?
You did ask for, you covered both.
I did say that, because I didn't want to ask for a ride in and then be stranded.
Listen, I have no defense here. This was 100% my fault.
I came in here to record an episode of Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with my dad, and boy, we got on a roll.
Yep.
You know, when I start talking to my dad, boy, we get on a roll sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And I was, had that wonderful time with him, and I step out of the booth and I go right into our office, right here, right behind us, so close.
Share a wall.
It's the type of thing that if you decided, you know what, I'm gonna leave, I'm just gonna leave work, you might be reminded because the next door you see is the one that the friend that you brought to work is behind.
Yeah.
Still working.
I knew you were still in there. I just forgot I brought you to work.
I opened the door.
And going out into the parking lot and not seeing your car no bells went off.
It didn't, did it? Well, a big bell went off when I went into the pitch black office of ours. Like, there's not a light on, there's not a soul, there's not a trace.
Oh, come on, I didn't turn the lights off.
There's not a trace.
I didn't shut down.
Of humanity.
I'm not a light turner offer. That's you, man. I mean, I should be more responsible.
It was desolate in there, and it's just, my heart just sunk, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm stranded. What am I gonna do?
And interestingly, this is actually kind of I feel like this is more of an offense for me to do it to you than for you to do it to me, because you really hate Ubers. You really hate, you hate having people take you anywhere. You don't even like, just to be honest with you, like anytime we have to go to the West Side, like if I don't say anything, I know you're gonna be like, I'll drive. And like, I'm always like, he's got some reason that he wants to drive. It's probably, I'm not even gonna ask, but I don't mind not driving. But
it's a win-win.
So I'm like, you don't like to be driven anywhere.
Okay, you're bringing up a couple of things here. You're highlighting why I'm so nervous about the fact that now I'm about to see my Uber reviews. I'm a little nervous because I thought I just had immunity, and I also knew that I was always upset when I'm in an Uber. And I got to tell you what happened with the Uber that you stuck me in too. But before I get to that, I just, as a side note, want to say that whenever we have to drive to the West Side, I like to be the one to drive because I like driving. You know, I enjoy it. I like getting places fast.
I thought it was because you were more likely to get sick if you were riding.
I'm also more likely to get sick, especially
we have to go over the hills and stuff.
Especially if I'm in the passenger seat, I can't be on my phone. And like if we get in a conversation about something, it usually requires some form of like phone work. Like, and then people are communicating with us, it's during a work day, there's like work is happening and we're being slacked and stuff. And I'll get sick if I'm on my phone. So I can serve the duo better by being the driver. And then you can be on your phone and you can actually do things. You also like to type. I don't like to type. I like to drive, I don't like to type. And I can't do it in a car anyway. So this is a win-win.
I'm not complaining about it.
Yep, because my driving is not bad. I mean, Stevie is scared of me driving for some reason. I know it's because I've almost hit pedestrians.
I'm a little bit scared of how you
But like, we get there. And I think I get there pretty fast.
You haven't actually hit any pedestrians.
I have
You've
not.
only almost hit pedestrians.
Right.
There's a big difference. Like there's if you actually hit somebody, we got a problem. If you almost hit somebody, it's sort of like, it's almost like you didn't hit them at all.
Exactly.
In fact, it's the same.
Yeah, missing a pedestrian is like, not ever hitting a pedestrian.
Right, it's like they weren't even there.
Right, so I've missed a lot of pedestrians.
Almost counts,
all of them.
Almost counts in horseshoes and hitting pedestrians. I don't know, almost doesn't count in horseshoes, but it does count in hitting pedestrians.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah, it does count.
It does count with pedestrians.
And it does count with pedestrians. No, it doesn't. If you nearly miss a pedestrian, you have not hit the pedestrian, so it doesn't count.
Just one little thing. First of all, I already did apologize to you in real life. Sorry for leaving you.
I feel like I deserved it.
I will say
from the Emmys thing.
I will say, it was the day of the NCAA football championship game, which starts at 4:30 on the West Coast. And so once the end of the day started rolling around, I was like, and Locke was still in town, I was like, oh, I've got to watch this game with my son. And so I left work early, and I mean,
you conveniently forgot about
remembering your friend or
your
watching
bud.
Football with your son. I'm sorry, I got to get my priorities straight.
I gave you a hard time over text. I was like, it's not a big deal. I mean, I could have gotten a ride with somebody here, but I had already asked Jenna to make a vision board. I didn't want to ask her to take me home.
I did offer. I was like, do you need a ride?
Yeah, I was like, I'll just Uber. It's fine. That's what Uber's for. And I was like, well, I'm going to get the comfort. It's a little few more dollars, but I want to be
A
comfortable.
little few more.
And I get in the back of this Uber, and homeboy had been smoking cigarettes.
A Venn diagram. Uber driver and smoker.
They just don't.
More likely
And you
than
know what?
usual.
It wasn't. I get just like an immediate headache with some cigarette smoke. Like I'm just like it's the worst for me. It triggers a headache 110% of the time. And just because you get out of your car and you smoke your cigarette doesn't mean that when you get back in your car, I can't smell it. There's something about it's on you, it's on your person. It's still coming out of your person somehow, man. And so here I am like rolling the window down.
Okay.
I rolled the window down, and I felt bad about rolling the window down.
How cold of a day was that?
It was pretty
cold.
chilly.
Okay, all right, you're rating.
I'm rolling the window down, and I feel like I'm sending him a message that I'd rather not be like, hey, something around here stinks, and I think it's you, so I'm rolling the window down. I didn't like that,
What
but
was the look on your face? And did he have sunglasses on, and could you see him looking in the rearview mirror?
I wasn't looking at him. I was kind of looking down. I rolled the window down. I kind of stuck my nose out.
Oh,
I needed to like golden retriever
You
this thing.
headed out?
A little bit. The funny thing is I did it, the place where I did it is right before we get on the interstate here in Burbank. And when I rolled the window down.
You did it next to the plant with the natural gas that comes out of it?
Yeah, there is a place in
I call
Burbank.
it the fart bridge. When you cross the bridge.
It's the fart bridge.
You cross the bridge that goes over the 5 on Burbank Boulevard.
It's the fart bridge.
In Burbank.
It stinks.
You will, if you haven't crossed it before, every single time you will assume that someone, maybe you, farted.
And that's what my Uber driver thought I did, because I rolled the window down.
Yeah.
So it's like, I roll the window down, he smells a stink. Oh, it's like, this dude farted in the back of my car.
Oh, shit.
And so like, here I am thinking about how bad he stinks, he's thinking about how bad I stink.
But you did at least roll the window down.
And then I'm driving, and we get...
You're driving? Oh, this gets interesting.
I'm riding, and we get... He doesn't know how to drive in the traffic, and I'm like, man, if I was driving, I'd be way over here. I'd be cutting people off. It's taking twice as long to get home, and I'm smelling this stuff.
He didn't carpool lane.
He didn't carpool lane, and he's not aggressive. And I mean, it was good that he wasn't talking to me. I did like that. There were no words exchanged, except just the insinuation of what the window rolling down meant. By the time we get close to the house, I look up, and here we are going the wrong direction. He has taken a wrong turn.
Yeesh.
And at this point, I decide I'm gonna let him have it in the review. I've never done this, but here I am angry, and my head hurts, and it's really I'm mad at Rhett, and I need to take it out on somebody. And I get home, and I tell Christy about it. I'm like, I'm thinking about writing a review. She was like, well, that's what it's for. Write it. And the way that once you start writing, like, I put 2 stars. No, I put 1 star.
Ooh!
And then I was like, you know what? I feel this isn't that bad. I'm gonna put 2 stars.
Oh,
and then I'm gonna well, it's not like he's reviewing me. I gotta stick to my guns.
Well, first of all, I don't know if, A, he is reviewing you, but B, I don't know.
There's no way he can see my review before I see his.
There's no way the system is based on him looking at what he gave you.
Yeah, reviews have to be closed to both sides before they're both.
Gotta be blind.
That's how Airbnb
blind
works.
Reviews.
Airbnb, you don't see the review about you, which you do see easily on Airbnb once you submit the review about the other person. So
and maybe you only see aggregate. I
decided Airbnb, you see the actual review.
Oh, I know for that, yeah.
I stuck with my guns. I put 1 star, and then it's like, okay, well, why? And you have to choose from the things. And was it like
that's pretty harsh, bro?
Was it like, there were certain things in there, and one of them was wrong turn. I was like, well, wrong turn. It was a big wrong turn. It's one of those when you go the wrong way on the freeway, and then you're like,
well, this is a 2-star wrong turn. Like, you took 2 stars off of the wrong turn. How do we get from 5 to 1? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Emotionally,
okay.
Honestly. So I clicked wrong turn, and then it was like, okay, anything else, anything, and I didn't see anything else, but then it said other, and I'm like, yeah, well, the cigarette smell is something people should know about. So I put other. Okay. And then it brought up a whole other thing, and one of them was smell.
Yeah.
And so I clicked smell, and I felt bad about that.
Were there smell options?
There wasn't smell options, it was just smell. And then I wrote—
because it could be a good smell.
I wrote cigarette smell, cigarette smoke. That's what I wrote in the write-in.
Okay, all right.
And I I did not put a tip. I usually tip. Even if it's 3 days later and I'm opening the app a month later, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot to tip, and then I'll tip. I do always tip.
You really let this guy have it.
And it's your fault. And then I submitted it and I felt good about it. And now, oh man, this road goes both ways.
So I'm gonna show you how to do this.
Do you think I was wrong, first of all? Do you think I was too harsh? I mean, it was 3 strikes, you're out. That would have been, well, maybe I was a little harsh.
I don't know. 1 star feels pretty
harsh.
Pretty harsh. I think he'll be okay. He'll probably be okay.
He also
You're
had
not gonna derail his career because of this.
The
thing is that here's what I want.
He had a billboard on top of his car. It was a LED screen turned sideways like he was a pizza delivery guy, but the LED billboard on his car was promoting Uber.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I got me a professional Uber. I got like, whoo, this guy has really got it going on.
Yeah, so he'll be fine.
So my expectations were higher.
But here's the other thing.
It's like he was related to Uber.
I have to assume, I pretty much have only ever given 5 stars, right? Even if it's like, I mean, I kind of do the same thing with servers in restaurants. It's like,
give them the benefit of the doubt.
Unless you do something like, I'm like 20% is my baseline, right? And then if like, you said you were a fan, I'd definitely go up significantly. If you did a great job, I'll go up significantly. But like, it's only, you have to have done something rude that was your fault as a server, you offended me or something, which I don't know if it's ever happened, right? When it comes to the Uber thing, I have given some marks off if it's like, if the cigarette smell was overwhelming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't think I went to 1 star. I was just like, all right, I'm gonna give a little feedback here.
I think I went a little
you gotta
hard.
think about that. But you also got the wrong turn, so it was a double whammy. But I think people probably are like, most of the time it's 5 stars, but then if I'm upset, 1 star. So it probably goes, for drivers, it's probably a lot of 5s and 1s.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's fine. But let's look at our own, okay?
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all know about this. I think that if you cancel a ride, then they can give you a rating and that they'll give you a bad rating. And I gotta say, there's been multiple times where there's been a canceled ride because of where I live and how it'd be like, this dude's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's service.
So you're getting nervous too?
Yeah. Well, I've already looked at mine.
Oh, so you're explaining.
Okay, so open up your Uber app.
And do they use this as a way to decide if they're gonna take your request? Probably.
I don't know. Call in if you're an Uber driver. Okay. Tell us how you feel about what Link did. And also answer any of the questions that we have.
The number is
1-888-EARPOD-1. So go to the lower right-hand corner, click on account.
Account, okay.
Now go to settings, the bottom part of the screen there.
Settings, they've hidden it under settings, okay.
Then click on privacy.
Privacy, really?
And then it says your data and privacy at Uber, and then there's this little icon, and it says, would you like to see a summary of how you use Uber? And then click on see summary.
I don't want to look at mine yet. Okay, explore your data, how to use this tool. Commitment to privacy trust is important.
So then scroll down to ratings.
Well, first of all, thank you for being with us for, how many days have you been with Uber?
3,729.
3,728.
Oh, I signed up the day before you.
You're an early adopter.
Everything we do in life is like, it's kind of on pace.
One day of each other. I've taken 179 trips.
I've taken 224, which I don't think is a lot of trips. How many trips have y'all taken if y'all are in this?
509.
509?
Mine is around 190 something.
Okay. About the same as me.
Okay.
Jamie, you've taken a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot of people take Lyft more.
Okay,
yeah, I use Lyft, or it depends on if there's a deal. I scroll back and forth.
I got kicked out of Lyft, and I don't know why.
Oh no.
I want to look at your data first.
Okay.
So show me what you got.
So if you're following along, you're gonna scroll down to ratings, and then you're gonna click on view my ratings. And
they buried
and this takes a while. The first time it took to generate this, it like thought a lot. Now I can just go back and see it.
Okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and click mine just so it's going.
Because it's going to ask you another question and ask you if you're sure or something, and then it starts. Okay. All right. So my aggregate rating is 4.73.
That's good. That's
Which
great.
if I saw a 4.73 on a driver, I'd be like, okay. But I like to see 4.95. I like to see 4.9
Well, you're above
something.
4. It's only out of 5, right?
I'm just saying, I don't know how, I think that might be a little bit low. So
No.
160, we're going to compare all four, we got all four of us here. So 165 5 stars, 13 4 stars. Now those are, I'm most curious about those 13 4 stars. Like what did I do?
What do you do as a rider?
I don't do anything. I'm so quiet. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't talk. Maybe I don't answer the questions.
I think you're making.
I do answer some.
I think you're making them wait. You have to walk down that long driveway.
Yeah.
I think you're late.
6 3 stars, 6 2 stars, and 2 1 star.
All right, the 1 star is just you. They were about to be at your place, and you.
I've done that.
You cut them off.
Yeah.
You sent them packing.
Well, there's been a couple of times from my home where I've had to call an Uber and a Lyft at the same time. I'm like, whoever gets here first gets the ride, because it can be so crazy at certain times. And now once I get the other ride, I cancel the other one. But I shouldn't do that. But Stevie told me this, and it's true. Things have changed, man. 5 years ago, it would be like finding your Uber. Your Uber is 5 minutes away. And 5 minutes later, they would be at your house. Now it says, we are looking for your driver. It waits, and then it says 9 minutes. And a lot of people in my neighborhood, a lot of drivers in my neighborhood who live in my neighborhood, they just got, here's my theory, maybe I'm wrong. They're parked at their house, they have their app on.
Oh, they were on the toilet. They're watching a game.
They're doing whatever they want to do, and then they see, oh, somebody needs a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. And then they do something else, like eat a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens, but they don't get in my house in 9 minutes.
Try to find matching socks.
And I'm just saying, it's changed a little bit. So my approach to the game has changed. But anyway, so I'm at a 4.73.
That's still pretty good, dude. So you do a grab bag approach, and you'll make them race to your door. An Uber and a Lyft.
I may have done that 3 times in my life. I'm just saying that it's, under certain circumstances, I've had to do it.
Please note, ratings are optional. Not everyone will give you a rating. Rider ratings, 4.76.
Oh, dang, Link.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6
3 100ths higher. You're 3 100ths
3 100ths higher. Yeah, that's what it is. 137 5 star, 4 4 star, 4 3 star, 0 2 stars, and 6 1.
Whoa, okay. This is the crazy thing. Why do I have so many 4 stars? I don't have, you got 6 1 stars? How did this happen?
I'm heavy on the 1 star, 6 1 star, and then 4 4 and 4 3.
I've got quite a spread. 6 2 stars. You got 0 2 stars. What's happening here?
I will say that when I called the Uber from here when you left me, you remember that, when you forgot I existed and how much you cared about me and I had to find my way home, so I called an Uber? Well, I found the Uber, and then it was like, I opened my screen to see how far the Uber was away, and at first it was like, 7 minutes away, and then when it was 4 minutes, I opened up the thing, and I was like, 4 minutes, and my thumb clicked something. And the next thing I knew, I had no ride. And I think I clicked cancel. And I think I've done that a lot. I think I've done that at least 6 times apparently. Like just being an old man pushing, like instinctively pushing the biggest button for no reason. So I've canceled on accident. But I feel good about this. Wow, I can really move forward wreaking some havoc. 4.76. Jenna, you gotta go next because Jamie, you've got the biggest data pool.
Yeah.
My score is 4.86.
Dang!
She's the winner.
I am a delight. But I will say I have 4 1 stars.
Whoa.
4 1 stars, 2 2 stars, 1 3 star, 3 4 stars,
Okay.
and 188 5 stars.
That's nice.
Dang, okay.
You know the thing I'm realizing? Lincoln has my Uber account.
Oh, you
Lincoln's
know what?
been
Oh.
This is Lincoln. This isn't even me.
Oh, why does he have his own Uber account?
I don't know. Because, I don't know. We just never, I just said, if you ever need an Uber when you're at college, use the Uber. But he should have
He
his
probably
own account.
has his own now. Because you would see it happening a lot.
I do see it.
You would see the rides.
I'll get emails and I see his rides and stuff. And then I tip his driver. Because it's my account.
Yeah, you got.
He's making me tip his.
Yeah,
he's got it made, doesn't he? And he's getting me these 1-star reviews. Or he's probably the 4 and 3-star.
I will say I book rides for you all via my account.
We're great.
From time to time. Yeah, I can't. I probably should. I can't blame the 1 stars on you. I'm pretty sure that's on me at some point.
I don't know. It might be me.
Drunk Jenna is
Oh.
a delight,
Oh, damn.
but maybe a mess.
Oh, gosh, you made a mess?
I've never made a. I've never in an Uber, but I've certainly been with my friends and called Ubers places and like been in the Uber with them and been like, oh my God, please, please, please. I'm
They
gonna
need
get
the
such a
golden
bad
retriever, too.
score. Get us out of here.
Because
Definitely been there.
yeah, when you start to factor in like vomiting in somebody's car, and that can only, the worst that can be is a 1-star, I feel a little bad about giving my boy a 1-star, taking me home just for a wrong turn and some cigarette smell. I mean, he didn't vomit on me.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah, you can look through your past rides, and I basically have given everybody 5 stars, but then like every 10th ride it says canceled because it's like I shot myself in the foot here. Okay, Jamie.
Okay, so I do have a way bigger pool here, but my overall is 4.89.
that's
Nice. He's
good.
the winner.
But
Whoa.
I have 5 stars, 417 rides. I have 10 4-stars, 6 3-stars, 3 2-stars, and 4 1-stars. And
Dang, you got only 4
4.
1-stars with that big of a pool?
yeah, but I'm still I have this story from back when Uber barely started, and I had an Uber driver ask me, why is your Uber rating so low? And I was like, what do you mean, sir? I was like, I am delightful.
You knew from the beginning.
And no, he was just like, yeah, you have a 3-point something. So I have definitely brought this up, but I was trying to think.
You're hawking the good reviews. You're like, and give me 5 stars when you're getting out of the car. You were trying to boost your score.
No, I was just when that happened, I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, you seem cool to me. And I was like, I feel like that is accurate.
So what did you change? Because you're getting out of the car and you're like, let's just recap the fun we had together. I feel like we had some 5-star fun.
It might be the questionnaire that I have printed out in my purse, but
Right, that'll do it every time.
You give them a little candy.
I agree though I'm here. I'm
your
like, why
purse.
did I only get the 3 stars are the ones? Why am I just at a mid? What did I do to be mid? Not even the 4. The 3 stars are the ones that I'm like, I don't understand.
I mean, being quiet is not something to get dinged for.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the things that I've done. I mean, I've got
Like
the
being
lowest
terse,
score here. I feel like I got to
being-
make a change.
Being terse could if you're not friendly in your conversation, I guess a driver could ding you for that. I'm just trying to think. Maybe you smell. Not you, I mean us collectively.
I smell sometimes.
One could smell.
Usually not when I'm out.
Or if you're
I smell at home.
if you're talking on your phone really loudly,
I don't do that.
but I think that's worthy of that's just
I
inconsiderate.
definitely do not endear myself to the driver.
No, I don't
Now,
do that.
If my wife is present, she will know the life story of
Yeah.
whoever is driving.
And maybe they would get a low score for that. She would get a low score if they didn't want to talk.
Usually not. I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think they seem to be participating pretty strongly.
I think if you just give them a little friendly hello and a friendly goodbye and a thank you and nothing in between, I think that's a good bookend. I think that's a good practice. Now, if the Uber starts asking me stuff, I don't say, sometimes I'll put no conversation because when you call the Uber, they ask for your preferences. I love that.
I never get the preference.
I'm gonna start
I
putting
just
the
don't
no.
talk.
I'm gonna put the no conversation because that way it's like, hey, this is just how we're riding today.
Maybe that will increase your rating on average because there's no expectation set.
I mean, in the absence of doing that, I have been sparked up with an Uber, and what I meant by that is sparking conversation. I realized it sounded like I was smoking the
I
cigarette.
sparked up with some of them.
Sparking conversation. They would try to get me talking and be like, what do you do for a living? You know, that's the time I boldface lied to my Uber. I was
You said
like,
corporate video.
I said,
It's not a lie. It's true.
I work in corporate video
You do.
because Google is a corporation.
Well, so is Mythical.
That's true.
Okay, well, I feel a little
We're
bit
doing
bad
good,
here.
guys. We're
I don't
doing
know.
good.
I mean, those sound, the 4.8, 4.9, that could, if I see a driver that has my rating, like a 4.73, I'm like, this guy's made some mistakes. Honestly, that's what I think. You rarely see a driver less than 4.6. So
But
now I
you
kind of feel
can't
like
elect-
I'm kind of at the bottom of the barrel at this point.
What do you do when you see that? You don't cancel because
No, I
then that's
just-
going to give you a 1 star.
It just raises the hair on my back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, okay, I gotta be real clear here. I'm gonna blame this on my neighborhood. That's what I'm blaming it on. They get lost coming up to my house, they lose service. I have to give them directions to get back to the highway.
yeah, but
There's
that's not their fault.
There's things like that happen.
But when
And I
you're
think they're taking it out on me.
when you're calling an Uber, why? I mean, can you choose between different people? I'm seeing if you can see their rating on the app before you like choose which one you want.
I don't think you
I don't think you
No,
can.
I mean, that just wouldn't be. I
So
think the rating is mostly for
Like if I'm
the Uber people.
I'm clicking on a car.
To be like,
And
once
I
your
don't
rating
see
gets
any-
below a certain amount, you can't drive anymore. You go on a probation or something.
Okay, so yeah, so it's a little disconnected, the rating. But
So I got a little something to work on. We'll check. You know what? We'll check again next year. It's
like our credit
if I
scores.
can beat you.
okay. I like how you make the Uber and the Lyft race to your house. I do that with napping. I've started doing this new type of napping where like I'll drink a coffee and then I'll be laying there and I'll see if I can beat the coffee to nap time, because if the coffee kicks in, I'll wake up. So I gotta fall asleep before the coffee makes me wake up. And it's kind of like I've pictured it as like a race in my head. It's like my napping metabolism being attacked by the coffee I just drank.
It sounds like
to counteract
such
the
a
nap.
relaxing thought exercise to make one fall asleep.
I mean,
There's a race going on in my head. I'm about to dream.
I've got to hurry up and nap before I wake up.
I
did
think
that.
you do have like 30 minutes or so.
And then when
Is that
you
what it
do
takes
wake
for
up,
caffeine to
it
take
helps
effect?
you. It helps you wake up from the nap at like more invigorated if you take a caffeine nap, caffeine power nap. But I like the race of it all. It's the thrill for me.
I think I got to stop the racing technique though. I want to be clear. I've only done it a few times. And my understanding is that the driver still gets paid a certain amount. They don't get paid for the drive, but they get paid for the cancellation. If they did any driving.
If you care about your rating, then you got to work on it. But you got some leeway.
I want to share with you something that I finally get to share.
I think we should save it. I really want to
Nope.
hear I want to see my vision board.
We're going to see both.
I just don't think we have
I'm
time
not
for
pushing
your-
this for time.
I don't have. I
If
don't
we're
think we have
pushing
time.
anything, it's the vision board.
Come on.
So I was watching something with
This, by the way, shouldn't take a lot of time.
Jesse. Exactly. I was watching something with Jesse, and I don't even know how I came upon this. We were watching YouTube videos together while working out, and
Okay.
there was something where there was this guy who was like the world record holder for speed reading. And I don't know if you have seen these videos. Like, there are some videos that are like,
Of someone speed reading? No.
no, there's a TikTok video going around of this guy who's like taking a book and like flipping through it in front of these judges or something, and it's obviously fake. He's not there's no person that could do that.
Okay.
But this is a guy who is like definitive, like Guinness World Records recognized. And like they're saying like, oh, what is he doing? And it was just, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna watch this so I can learn how to speed read. I was like, oh, this is interesting, so I'm gonna keep watching it. And then by the end of it, the way that the guy explained it, I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try this. So basically what he did is he said,
You watch the world's best do something, you were like, I can do that.
no, because of the way he talked about it.
Okay.
Because I've always just thought, well, I've always thought, hey, it's bullshit. I was like, these people aren't actually reading. That's what I thought. I thought they were faking it, right?
I didn't think they were faking it.
Or they're like not really getting the information.
Yeah.
And then what he said was, he was like, well, what I'm doing is I figured out that typically when you read something, if you're normal like me, and I think I'm actually a below average speed reader is my theory. You kind of read something and it's almost like there's a voice in your head that's saying the words out loud, more or less. You're like reading it and there's like
narrator.
So it's kind of going at the speed of speech. And he's like, that slows you down so much. And what you'll find is if you just take your finger and you just kind of run it across the line and you convince your brain to stop having to insist that you say it inside your brain, and you just realize that you're just taking in the information, you'll get to a place where you are taking in the information conceptually, and if you stopped and thought about it, you would realize that you actually did get the information. And so I was like, well, let me try that. And so this is the thing that happens to me. I think I'm such a slow reader because I'm a very easily distracted reader, and I read a lot. But what happens is, if I get down into my bed and I start reading, I like make it literally sometimes like a page and a half, and then I'm like falling asleep.
That's good.
Right? And so I'm like, I'm not getting anything done. And also sometimes I'll start reading and I realize that it's like that when you find yourself driving and you're like, I think I've just driven for 5 minutes and don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, you have to go back.
I do the same thing with reading quite a bit. And so what I found is I'm trying this new technique, not because I'm trying to get through a bunch of things faster, but because I'm so slow because I'm so distracted that I found that by doing this technique, and I'm not actually doing my finger every time, now I'm just kind of looking at it, it makes me focus more on reading, and that's the reason I ended up getting more. I'm less likely to fall asleep while reading because I'm trying to do this technique.
And you're not gonna be tested on it except for now.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I'm gonna get a book. I'm like looking around our office for a book. We have a bunch of decorative books. I was like, I'm gonna get one of those. And then I realized I have got a fun book. We were given Dr. Emily Morse's Smart Sex, how to boost your sex IQ and own your pleasure. So from like Sextember last year, she came on the show.
Yep.
And
she sent us the book.
What was that, year before last? Anyway, I think this is out now, but we have an uncorrected proof. So you might.
I'll spot all of them, all the incorrections.
So I just think you need to speed read.
Can I set the bar for you real quick?
And I want to see how well you get it.
Because you're not gonna hand me the book and give me 4 seconds and I'll give it back to you. I have to look at all of the words. Well, I'm just not gonna read the words out loud in my mind. So I'm gonna go faster than normal than for me.
Well, it's just a page and a half and it's in a box, so like it's actually less. So I would like for you to speed read the section on penis popping.
Okay. Okay, I'm not gonna look yet.
It's on the right side.
Do you want to read it normal and time yourself?
I've already read it.
Okay, I just don't know. I don't think this is gonna be impressive.
Well,
but I'm gonna go fast. I'm gonna go as fast as I can.
It's a page and a half, so how much time do you need?
I don't know. I've never timed myself.
You gotta go quick, man. Okay. I'm probably gonna give you 15 seconds.
Can you not say distracting things while I'm doing it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Yeah, this is not for comedy.
Can you make a low humming noise, just like a drone noise, just to let people know that they're like the podcast is still on?
Like you want me to make a gray noise?
Yeah, make white. Well, you're a white boy. Make white noise. But don't change tones. Could it be more of a hiss, like a? Yeah, just see it.
It's a little wet. I want to make it drier.
Yeah, make a drier noise. And here we go.
All right, that's 15 seconds. You're done. Turn.
No. I'm reading the whole thing.
Well, you need. I could have read the whole thing just normal, I think. No, I couldn't have. I think that's over twice as fast.
Now you're really hurting me because you're talking.
Just get what you got from the first page.
Okay, all right. So I was doing great until the second half when you started interrupting me and talking.
Okay.
But I want you to understand, I just read 5 paragraphs and I don't know how long that was, but that was way faster than I typically would read. And I was just looking at the words and then letting them register in my brain.
I can safely say that I would have read it at 25% speed of what you did.
Okay.
I am a slow reader. Except when it's horny stuff, I guess. I don't know what I'd be at.
So can I give you a summary, or are you gonna ask me questions?
No, give me a summary of penis popping.
Okay, well, basically, the idea behind this is that sex is messy, right? So there are lots of things that can happen during sex, like vagina farts is one of the things that can happen during sex. So there's, the expectation that you're gonna have every hair in place and everything is gonna be perfect when you're having sex is an unrealistic expectation. And
the word vagina farts is in here.
And one of the things—
not queef.
And one of the things that can happen is penis popping, which is when the penis slips out of the hole that it's in. The vagina in this case, I think in this particular example, during sex.
Now at this point, I'm simultaneously relieved and disappointed because when I first picked this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be about my worst nightmare.
The penis?
Like when it's like, because there's different chambers in a wiener.
You don't wanna break your penis.
And then if one of those pops like a balloon, that's disturbing.
Can I go on and tell you the rest of it?
But you are correct in saying that that is not what penis popping is. So right off the bat, you're not making this up. Because what my first test was, is he just gonna make up what he thinks penis popping is?
When you said penis popping, I thought you were talking about when it breaks.
Yeah, so.
It makes a popping noise.
You circumvented the misdirect. Continue.
And basically, this is all a function of the angle of entry, right? It's something that happens. It's a combination of the angle of entry and something else. I can't remember the position, I think. And so you can experiment with, if this is something that happens on a regular basis, you can experiment with cowgirl or reverse cowgirl that can change the positions. And then some people actually just want to move to something simpler, like missionary. Which could be a good, so basically you need to experiment. You don't need to feel ashamed. These are things that happen, but you need to find, your own mojo.
It's also a good reason to what?
Call your mom? What?
Yeah, I haven't called my mom in a while. It's like, I'm waiting for my penis to pop out.
I don't understand the question.
Potential penis slippage is also a good reason to not call your mom.
Penis slippage is also a good reason to, I don't know, I missed that.
Slow things down.
Oh, slow things down.
Slow things down, Rhett. Let me go backwards here. That
was in the second half. That's why you were talking. I was listening to you and reading at the same time.
What type of penises will become more comic than tragic if you embrace awkward moments?
Popped penises.
No, disobedient penises.
Okay.
And so you're not really getting good with the details.
Was that in the last paragraph on that page?
That was in the intro paragraph.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you end up missing some stuff, and also, I mean, I just don't remember everything.
If it happens to you, who cares? That's a question.
Nobody.
Exactly. You got that right.
Your mom. Your mom.
You can make light of it. You can laugh together, or you can do what?
Try a new position.
Or just what?
Go with the flow.
Add some
music.
Lube. And get that
penis back in there.
Yep, that was it. Get that penis back in there. You got that part. Keep in mind that a slow
insertion,
grind, swivel, or what motion is likely to cause more popping than moving up and down?
Lateral thrusting.
Back and forth motion. I don't even know who's right anymore. Okay, you've done it.
Okay, but so let me tell you what I did. I applied this. I was
pretty good.
Over the holidays, I was reading a book. I think it's called like The Tiger or something, and it's a I don't know. I was told by somebody on TikTok. I'm on like Book Talk, and like listening to people talk about things, and somebody was talking about this being like a page turner, and I was like, okay. And I got into it, and it was a book about these dudes in the like easternmost part of Russia, which is like a really desolate jungle region where there's like the Siberian tiger, the Asiatic tiger.
Okay.
And they're like basically tracking a tiger that had killed some people, and it's based on a true story. But it's a retelling of the story with some imagined, I don't know what you call that genre where you're telling a story that actually happened, but it's a little fictionalized. It's not historical fiction because it's a documentary of it. But
embellished tale of
this
reality.
dude would go into deep like history and information about the region and about all this stuff. And I was kind of like, this is hard, man. This is hard to get through, but I just feel like I'm so bad. And I started the book in end of 2023, and it was like coming into 2024, I was like, I want to finish this damn book. I don't want to just stop another book.
Yeah.
And this technique came along.
Oh, penis popping.
And penis popped my way right through that book and then called my mom and told her I had done it. No, actually, I sped read. Again, it's not crazy. I don't know if somebody would be like, that dude's reading the hell out of that book. I think they would just be like, that dude's reading normally. Whereas before it would be like, that dude's reading a page and a half and falling asleep.
And so, you're like skipping areas where you don't feel like you need all the details.
I did not do that.
Well, you're speed skipping. You're skimming.
But I was like, you like, it makes you like engage with it, and then you like have to, and then sometimes you hit a place and you're like, this is something that I have to slow down and take in every single word and say it out loud in my head and maybe go back. But then
the slow grind, they call it.
And I got through the book, like it had taken me 3 weeks on and off to get like 40% of the way through the book. And then it took me a week to finish. And I was like, this could be revolutionary.
And you enjoyed the book more.
Yeah, and I like remember a lot about the way that the book, that second 60%.
This is all, you didn't do any more research besides that YouTube
one video.
Ha!
It was just
right.
Instead of reading it out loud to myself in my mind, I just was like, I'm gonna make my eyes move across the words faster than I think my brain can keep up with. And then you start thinking, oh, I actually just got all that. It's in there.
Yeah. And I just speed read that doggy style is the position that is most likely to cause a penile fracture.
Which is what you thought penis popping was.
Yeah, that's just the next page.
So I recommend it. It means you don't just go on my word. Watch a video about it.
Is that your recommendation?
It's not. Yeah, let's make it my recommendation because I'll save my other recommendation for next time. But
cut for time.
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit. Like it actually does work.
I never thought it was.
Well, some of the videos are bullshit. Somebody picking up a book and going and just being done with it. That's bullshit, man. And there's people who do that.
Okay. We have as much time as we need for me to experience my vision board that Jenna has worked on. I don't know how hard she's worked on it. Maybe I'll be able to tell when I look at it.
Maybe.
You're gonna give it a scale of 1 to 5 stars?
Yeah. Give me an Uber rating.
Okay, all right, here we go. I'm gonna look at it first. Oh, wow.
Holy moly.
Look at this.
It got pills on it?
Oh. Yeah, it does have pills.
Oh
my gosh, Jenna.
I didn't see the letters. I thought you gave him some pills.
Look at this.
Here's your vision for 2024. Take these pills.
Jenna, I am going to take this to therapy and take full credit for it.
Okay.
Hey, therapist, I've been doing some work on my own, and I just wanted to share it with you. This might be frameable. Look at this.
Wow, it's got a 3-dimensional vibe to it. There's leaves.
So what does this say? Ground. Yep, and here's a snowboarder.
Uh-huh.
And here's the moon, sun.
Uh-huh.
Here's a map
Mm-hmm.
with some islands, some angular shapes.
Avant-garde bicycles.
Yes.
Oh, is this a bicycle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at that. Mountain biking, snowboarding. What does ground mean? Like staying grounded?
Staying grounded.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a heart here. Replenish.
Stay hydrated, maybe.
Yep.
Napping with dogs. Yeah.
There's literally a man
Napping with
sleeping,
dogs.
or maybe he could be dead.
No, he's napping with dogs.
There's multiple dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs will stick around after you die, though. Cats
Oh my
will eat
gosh,
you.
you have a
He said.
man
Uh-huh.
napping with a dog, and then you have a scuba diver.
Mm-hmm.
You have some adventure here. You got an underwater thing. Connecting with nature, connecting with my son, perhaps.
Yeah.
When I go scuba diving, I like connection. It's a good filter. I like applying to things. It's like, is this enhancing my connection with my fellow man? Here is an actual.
Is that poison ivy?
vine.
No.
And then, okay, male sorted. Okay, yeah, because my number one thing was sexual activity.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What else have I missed here?
I put a hummingbird in there with all, and on all the leaves that
my
Christy.
Oh, there's a hummingbird.
Is that a fortune cookie?
The house plants.
It's kind of like a little fortune cookie down there. Yeah.
What does that say?
You never talked about music, so I added a little thing about music.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know what? Christy went out and I went on a date after that conversation about like ranking our favorite stuff from the last episode. And we had a great conversation about that. It's a
Yay.
good date conversation. And then I realized, I was like, I didn't put anything about music on there.
That's okay. I thought of that.
Because I was like listening to music and then playing music. Two different things, both on my list. Without music and love, life is a journey through a desert.
Ooh,
Wow.
harsh.
Yeah.
Give that life
I
one
hope this
star.
didn't take as long as it looks like it took. 'Cause
How
I
long
really
do you think it
appreciate
took?
It looks like a 2-hour affair here.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
But you had
That's
fun
great.
doing it,
I
right?
did have fun. It was a fun Sunday.
it's a
the only
calming-
thing I did on company time was use the printer. I don't have a printer at
Jenna,
home.
this is
so.
this is me. This is the experiential pleasure me.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That is beautiful.
Thank
I'm
you
not
for
going
that.
to ask you to make me one.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm going to ask you not to make him one.
I've got the big.
We need to be different.
I've got the pen and ink thing.
Yeah, right.
I've got it. I don't want you don't need to spend any more company time on this. I'm doing a vision board for me.
And I'm not going to burn this
Okay.
unless my therapist tells me that I should.
It
And
could be
I'll talk to you
therapeutic.
about it before.
Maybe at the end of
Yeah.
the year you burn it. You take a picture of it first.
Yeah, it's the end of year. You've completed your vision, and then you can release it into the fire.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'll
it'll
be
Phoenix come back from the ashes. I don't know.
I'll be in an Uber when I'm
Burn it with
Oh, okay. Yeah. That'll help.
The window
rating.
will
help
be
the
down,
rating.
Yeah, what is my star? What is my star rating?
This is too good. I appreciate it, and it's I'm gonna stare at it whenever I need the perspective of pleasure. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Maybe this.
No, it just cracked.
Okay. And it's on fire.
Oh no.
All the pills fell off.
The vision is being destroyed.
Very few words, easy to speed read. All right, we've been through a lot today. We're that much closer to each other.
Yeah, listen. Hey, leave us those voicemails that we asked for. You know,
Dare us to respond with
Yeah.
your
We
assertions.
want to hear from you.
1-888-EARPOD1. And of course, hashtag #EarBiscuits. And leave us a review or a rating if you haven't. It's helpful, especially if it's good like our Uber scores.
5 stars.
Hi, Rhett and Link. I just finished listening to the episode where Link talks about his New Zealand trip, and I just wanted to say, as a mail carrier, I can verify that it is weird to be driving on the other side of the car, but you'll get used to it if you keep doing it. Love you guys.